Okay, so I got asked how I cut out my stickers with Scan and Cut Canvas and my brother Scan and Cut too. So I really love Pink Pixel Graphics for her weekly layouts and for her functional stickers, and I'll kind of show you why. For instance, the Netflix ones, because I watch Netflix several times a week. Okay, so you will need to subscribe to her newsletter to get the password to download her freebies. But once you get the password, you can unsubscribe, or she doesn't spam you with stuff once you get the newsletter. It's just crafty planner things, just some fun things. But anyway, then you'll get the password, you'll put the password in, hit download. They are a zip file because there is more than one file in the folder. Then it's here, so you'll have to extract it. That's right here. And I'll show you what I really like about her stuff is she includes the blackout images, which makes it so easy to scan. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice today. To scan into your Scan and Cut Canvas. So I'll show you how that works. Scan and Cut Canvas, log in. Ooh. Failed to access server. Sorry for the inconvenience. Please wait and try again. I guess they've been having issues on the server. Okay, here we go. Try again. And now, instead of selecting SVG up here for a cut file, you'll want to do image tracing. Choose your file. And then, like I said, she includes the blackouts, which makes it so much easier for your canvas to scan. So what you'll do is you'll pull the image up, hit preview. And as you see, it outlines everything beautiful. Now, you see down here where it's kind of sort of outlined her logo and some of the other things. You can delete that once you get in there. Okay, it's going to say, do you want to paste the selected image on the work area? Which the selected image is your background. It's going to make a gray space on the mat for each one of those little couches. So you want to hit yes. And then it'll post them all on here. What I usually do is scroll in and make sure that I take this type stuff out and then just delete it. That way when you send it to the machine, it doesn't see that and it doesn't want to start cutting out P's and E's and O's and A's and that type of thing. It just...
This whistle and this whistle.
Yes, my 4-year-old is here with me today, helping. Okay, so then once you get it like that, I find it's easiest, edit, select everything, and group them all together. That way when you send it to the machine and you need to move it, depending on where you put the printed copy on your mat, you don't have to move them individually, you can just move it as a group. And you can see it did leave the gray space behind, which is fine, because this is what you're sending to your machine. Then you just send it, scan in your machine, and then when it gets on the machine, you can see the scanned image underneath and can move these around depending on where you put your sheet on the mat. And then go ahead and cut. Now, for those that don't have the blackout image behind, you just basically kind of do the same thing. Image tracing, choose file, and like this. And I do know, you'll be able to see it here in a little bit, when it traces the couches in color, sometimes it doesn't pick the legs up because they're so small. And I will tell you, when you go to cut, it's pretty much just going to be a straight cut line right there anyway. So cutting off the legs really isn't a big issue unless you're really super have to have the legs. So there's 9 different colors on here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Outline, remove background, preview. Okay. Sometimes with it being color and the number of colors, it will take a little longer, sometimes not. Okay, and then you can see here you can actually move this up if you hit preview again. Sometimes it will take this out for you and will only scan what's in this red box. Yeah, see, it deleted that stuff for me. And now, even with the colored images, it's going to tell me the same thing when I hit OK, that it's going to put the colored image on the workspace, which is fine. Okay, and now you can see what I mean about not picking up the legs on some of them. Like the yellow ones here, it did, but these, it did not. So if you're really super picky about the legs, you'll have to cut them out by hand. And that's just because the pixels in that space are so small and not as close together enough for it to scan and see all of that. Then the same kind of thing, I usually just select everything, group it together, then it's one thing, send it to the machine, and cut it out that way. My other suggestion, I'll put this in here at the end of the video, when you get over to your machine, if you have an image, for instance, I know one that is really hard that I have. Let's see. Oops, planner. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. Okay, for instance, like here we go. This one will be good. Just a minute, buddy. Okay, so some of these don't have black outlines. So when you hit preview, okay, so like it didn't pick up the cloud, which I'm not surprised, but this is going to have the same result as the other one where it's going to say, well, wait a minute, we're going to put the image on the map for you. So okay. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay, you see how it outlined each one of these individually? Well, you know you don't want to do that. So you can select this and delete. Then you can go in here to basic. And then images, and then you can take like this one. And it's going to put it up here in the corner. But you drag it down here. Flip this in, please stop.
Huh?
Shrink this down. And then just put it around the object that you're using. Shrink your box down. And you can make your own box. Then when it's done, if you want to cut your corners, or if you even wanted to use this box, delete this one, flip it, That way you have the round corners. Shrink it down. And you can adjust the box sizes
Bam, 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 bam.
to fit. If you want it a little bit bigger, leave yourself a border. You can also do that. I recommend doing that, especially if you have objects like these that are ones that it's selecting around the whole thing, and if you don't want it that close or that much of an individual, then you can also, especially like this one too, where it cut out each individual little icon. Or this one where, I guess that one should be okay. Or this one, for instance, you could even make an offset outward line.
Da-da. Bam.
You delete the in one, hit OK. That way it'll make the line outside of it instead of inside. Makes a little more space, that kind of thing. It's just something you really have to play with. Also, if you don't have the image already on the computer and it's something you want to cut out of a magazine or something like that, you can also scan the image into your Scan and Cut first, then come back to Scan and Cut Canvas, and the same type of thing. You'll do the image tracing, but instead you'll select scanned image from Scan and Cut. Then you can make your own boxes, move stuff around as you need to so that it's perfect for each image. That's kind of my tutorial for today. If you have any other questions, more specifics, if you want to know exactly how to scan it into the machine first and then bring it into Scan and Cut Canvas, I can do another tutorial on how to do that as well. But, oh, one last thing. Before you send everything to your machine, I do recommend grouping them all together. Select everything and group. That way, when it gets there, this is what it will send, and you'll be able to move it around. So if the paper that you scanned in is not exactly in this corner, if you have something already there and you want that paper down here, you can move this and say, okay, and that's perfectly lined up. That way you're not having to move each individual little icon every time. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day. Bye.